here to mainstream cosmology and or are flat earthers, or certainly open to it, flat earth adjacent, maybe you could say. It's it's very it's much more common than you think. Basically, once you get past, if you find someone that doesn't just automatically conform to the pressures of their field, and they're quote unquote dissident, they independent thinkers. Once you refine it to that group, that type of person, significantly more, it's like a higher percentage of those people are flat earthers than are globers. So it's pretty
You know,
interesting.
another group that loves to talk about the stuff, chiropractors. Bro, you bring up flat Earth or anything that is against the mainstream, you would have at least a 2, 3 hour conversation with a chiropractor. They believe all that stuff,
Dude, it's
all
so
of it.
funny you brought that up. I have a chiropractor because my back's kind of messed up. My shoulder's like really messed up. And then it's affected my back because my shoulder droops down. So then over the course of the years, I've just like leaned to my left. And so it's like messed up my back. Anyway, over the course of me going with him and we kind of worked this whole thing out to help straighten up my back. Dude, he just like you said, he's been super chill and open to things. But dude, he's like started following me on day one. And so the progression of when I go in and visit him and he's like seeing me on Timcast recently, whatever, is so funny, bro. I woke that dude up to so many things. But I just point out, you're totally right. Is that like he feels way less pressure to conform, right? Because they're already kind of like attacked as quote unquote not real doctors and stuff.
Yeah, which is crazy. Like I've had arguments with people because they hear that huge fallacy, the person who created chiropractic, they were trying to say that they could uh cure cancers and all this stuff. I'm like, no, 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 no. You're getting it all wrong for one. And because they'll tell me that chiropractic doesn't work. And I'm like, well, you're retarded because it's been proven 100%. They'll give
Oh,
you
it's
pills. You go to a
incredible.
chiropractor, you don't need those pills anymore. It doesn't work in every instance. But the open mindedness already, like my chiropractor, my back's also fucked up, but it's also because I'm a roofer. So, and I'm almost 40, so whatever. But I gave her the Universal one by Walter Russell. I let her borrow it. He took it home, had it for a week, ended up buying her whole family a copy, dude.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yo, I will say, yeah, anyone that you should definitely look into it. And but also, for one, Jaren swears up and down that you should put cinder blocks at the head of your bed and kind of sleep at an incline, and that kings throughout all history did that. And then also, you should like definitely find like a good kind of like truther chiropractor if you have any issues, because I don't like this idea that it's a scam is ridiculous. Like there are some chiropractors that aren't that good, but dude, it's pretty incredible because we all look down at our phone and many people have consumed fluoride for so much in their life it results in skeletal fluorosis and it weakens the strength of your bones. And so then when you put that on top of always like staring down or hunching over, and so many people work at home and work in a chair now and stuff like that, because your bones have been weakened over the course of your life with skeletal fluorosis that's being misdiagnosed. Almost everyone here could definitely use an adjustment or two. So I do think that's important. You guys would be amazed. I feel so much better, bro, after I go. Like I feel so much better. It's wild. So anyway, random, but just plugging that.
I ain't never used a chiropractor before. I got tightness in my shoulder. Scared about my.
You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed, Sacred.
Yeah,
Like
find a
40
good one. Find a
bucks,
good one.
man, and you'd feel like a new man.
Yeah, yeah. Because dude, I ripped my shoulder in college. So like actually my senior year in high school, I messed up my shoulder. Like I still remember it was like the preseason scrimmage. This guy ran a crossing route, and then I like laid him out, and then my whole left arm went numb or whatever. And then that since then, right? I graduated high school in 2010, bro. Since then, my arm's been messed up, and then in college, it also got messed up when I played college football. And I never got surgery or anything because I didn't want to like miss the playoffs or miss my senior year. And so it's just been a problem like my whole adult life. And like if I'm playing basketball and if I like steal the ball with my left arm, for example, if they're moving past me, it'll really just like slide my whole shoulder out of place. So it's like really messed up. And dude, this chiropractor, like he did some x-rays, whatever, you take it or leave it. Yes, I got a couple x-rays. And he has helped my shoulder strengthen so much it's insane, bro. Because the reason my back is messed up is because, like I said, I lean over, and so you may be doing the same thing. If you have pain in your shoulder, if you should go ahead and get out ahead of it and start like rehabilitating it, right? Because you're gonna overcompensate without even noticing it, and it's gonna like mess up your back. And so he's helping me like obviously slowly up my like literally straighten up my spine, like with the before and after pictures, and then they're helping me do all these specific exercises that connects my shoulder to my back to strengthen those muscles. And it's like night and day. So you should that's definitely like a one of the first things I would look into. If you just go to normal doctors, like, okay, look, man, do you have insurance? Like, okay, let's slice up your shoulder. All right, we're gonna start off by just like cutting you open. So I would try the chiropractor first.
First thing they try to do is cut you open. Yeah.
Exactly, bro.
They got me over here straightening up my posture and everything. Like, damn, am I hunching?
Yoga's another big one. I can't talk about yoga more, man. I get shit a lot by my friends, but I'm almost 40 and I'm more flexible than they are, and they're half my age. So,
Yeah, man, the body's
Oh, by the way, let me just say here while we're sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
But while we're all in here, right? I don't know how long you plan on going or whatever, but obviously the trip is very soon. I think I'm supposed to be on a really big show. There's been a few hiccups kind of getting pushed back a few times, but I think it's supposed to happen before the trip. And I have like a few other like things I have to do. So like my schedule's already pretty packed up to leaving. And I fly out, I think, I'm not even positive. I think I fly out Tuesday at like 5 Eastern. So if there are things like these last minute things or ideas that people have, or make sure you bring this or that. I mean, I do have a very strict weight limit, so I can't just bring anything and everything. But or if there's any specific observations or things you want to make sure I document and stuff, but just like think about it and try to let me know either in here or like DM me. I'm trying to like hear everyone out before I go. Um, but yeah, I'm just throwing that out there, right? Because we're about to leave, and also this, I think we may supposedly be able to get on the internet, and so I may be able to like jump in places like here, or jump in Discord, or do a stream, or maybe call into a couple shows, and then also we're gonna be in South America for a few days, right? So if anyone has any ideas, I'll probably do some time lapse of the star trails while I'm there. But if anyone has any other ideas of what to do, kind of like in Punta Arenas for a few days, and then I'll try and like also do some streams there. So uh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I'll do it host a space or whatever while we're in South America. But if anyone has any ideas or suggestions of, because I'll say this last thing, like, yeah, we may be in this really good documentary, which I actually think is pretty, all things considered. Now we have like an actual Hollywood producer with professional equipment coming that's going to document the whole thing. We have final cut and final edit, so we can just say no, we don't want to be in it at all, we don't like it. And he is an actual flat earther. Like, we investigated and fact checked him. Jaron and I grilled him during the Zoom call. We set him all these traps to see if he's lying. He's not. I will say this, just so you know. So I asked him, okay, so here's a big important question. If the 24-hour sun is, does that mean the Earth's a globe? Because obviously, if he's going to make a documentary and he believes that that makes the Earth a globe, that's going to drastically affect how he spins the documentary, right? And he turned to Duffy in the Zoom call and he was like, "Hey, Will, so am I for sure 100% going on the trip?" And he said, "Yep." He's like, "Okay, then no, it doesn't. It's just like a single data point. It doesn't have so much evidence that it's not." So he didn't want to like say it, thinking it would jeopardize his ability to go, right? If Duffy thought that he wouldn't think it was actually final or conclusive or whatever. Um, and you could tell that that was just that wasn't scripted or anything. That was like a genuine on the spot thing that happened. So he's like a real fighter. So that is going to be documented. We're going to have documentation in that sense, right? But also, I'm going to use GoPro to kind of log the whole thing, and then I have another couple cameras. And so at least I want us to have like So we'll have our own little kind of documentation of it as well. So there you go. There's that. If anyone has any suggestions of what types of observations, any specific type of equipment that isn't heavy, any types of specific ways that we make the observations, or even in South America, things that you would think that we should do. 'Cause I think we'll actually have some downtime while we're in Antarctica, right? We're just gonna be there, and then we're just there to watch the sun. So I think we're just gonna like maybe be bored. Um, so yeah, just throwing that out. If anyone's got any suggestions, and obviously I'll stay in here for a while. I'm just gonna stay on here while I run some errands.
Dope. If y'all got any suggestions, any ideas, or some questions,
Are you
drop them in the purple pill or just shoot me a DM.
are you doing the infrared with the cameras for the plane stuff at least?
Yeah. Jaren has the infrared
Nice.
P1000.
Nice.
And I have a P900, but I think I just had one of my followers reach out to me last night, and say that he has a P1000 that he'll overnight me in a really good tripod. So I'm like, just trying to make sure based on how much the tripod weighs and stuff. So I may also have a P1000 instead of a P900.
Dope.
So then the question is, do I bring both of them? And then if I do, then we can think about, well, what there's going to be lots of cameras though. Like I think Liz is bringing 2 or 3 cameras. I'll have a
Nice.
couple cameras, and now maybe even 3. Yeah, Jaren's gonna have a couple cameras. Obviously, McKeegan is a photographer, so like, he's gonna have multiple cameras. There's gonna be cameras everywhere, all kinds of different angles, all kinds of different stuff. But yeah, we're gonna try to take infrared shots when we fly in.
You guys gonna make sure you have enough hard drive space for all of that, man.
Yes.
Are you
Which
guys
is a big part
viewing
of it.
sunspots too?
Yes, we have solar filters, right? I mean,
Sweet.
Do you guys know anyone in Australia that could film anyone in the southern parts of Australia? Because once you guys
we are.
do,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, we
guys
already
in
have
this
people set
group.
up in Australia to document the sun. Same time.
And then, what is y'all's current view on if there is a 24-hour sun where you guys are? What is like the best model you guys are going off of to explain that?
Oh, I don't know. I'm waiting until I actually have the verification of the phenomena to try to explain it.
No,
But I've
that's
seen a
fair.
few.
That's
I've seen
fair.
a few different. Yeah, I've seen a few different ideas, and even Dave today posted something like, if the dome was glass or something like glass, then its effect on optics would be wild. And he's correct. He showed the video of this guy in the pool, and he's like in the middle of the pool, but you see him all the way over, displaced to the side, and not moving the actual way that he's moving. So there's no doubt that there are ways that it could happen. I just don't. I'm just not going to try to explain it until then. And even like the specific things that we observe, right? How it's observed, exactly how everything works, what it looks like with the solar filter, what actual functioning, all that. So that's where I am. Although I will say I am kind of familiarizing myself with it so that we have a couple ideas to put out immediately instead of we don't want to just go around saying we have no idea. This is totally impossible. But yeah, before I like really dive into that world, I
That's
want to know the evidence.
well, that's my question. Like, what are you waiting to? Like, let's hypothetically say that okay, observations. Like, what would you have to say to that right now?
I just explained that it depends on exactly what the sun does and how it all works and everything and what the elevation angle is, etc. But again, though, I have seen a few different explanations. Like one of them just being utilizing the idea of the PAD, personal atmospheric dome, or like your ASI grid has, I would say, your azimuthal grid of vision, and then it just creating this personal observation, which is what we know happens anyway. Like everyone sees their own sun, so there is, as far as we can tell, there is a sun, but everyone sees their own sun. And this happens even in the globe. You have to say this. So we know that happens. And we know that, your personal atmospheric dome is a trip. And like you can see crepuscular rays and then turn around. Let me know if I break up because I'm driving, but you can turn around and see anti-crepuscular rays 180 degrees away from it. And the same thing goes for those shadow experiments where they say, oh, look, the shadow of the mountain is casted up on the clouds. This is impossible on a flat earth. It can only happen because the sun's going below the curve, blah, blah, blah. But when you go to the top of the mountain peak, it's actually down below you. It's below the peak, extended out horizontally, which actually refutes the globe as far as I can tell. But because it would have to be going up in the sky. But anyway, the point there is like there's a video of that where someone, same thing, like anti-crepuscular rays, they track it over the sky and go back to their side, and you see this converging shadow on the opposing horizon. And so I'm saying all that to say, like, we know that there's just basically this little dome around you that you observe within, and everything is tailored to that personal position, that personal observer's position. And that opens up the windows for many different things, including like this personalized observation of a counter rotation sun, right? And I think it would be kind of joined at the hip at what we see with star trails. And then Cami Odell says that she's actually been able to do a demonstration that shows this phenomena happening utilizing magnetism. So I'm interested in seeing her demonstration and seeing if I jive with that. And then there's obviously this whole explanation of like magnetohydrodynamics, where you actually have this bipolar model. You have two different poles actually rotating. And you can just look up magnetohydrodynamics and you'll see this is a real phenomenon that happens. You have a rotation, a counter rotation, to the idea that there's actually two rotations. So yeah, like, I mean, to me, I'm not going to come back with any definitive claim because there are multiple different possible explanations, but I think that's the point that needs to be elucidated. Is just that no, this actually absolutely isn't exclusive to a globe. It doesn't definitively prove anything. There are multiple explanations. I guess I'll say this to explain my point here. It's like how Globers will come and tell me that I need to offer an explanation for everything. So it's like they think they know that the edge of the visible universe is 46 billion light years away, right? Or that redshift is because the universe is expanding and now accelerating. And they're like, well, then what is the explanation then? It's like, I don't have to explain these preposterous ideas that you think you know, right? Or like they think that like a spoonful full of a neutron star is like 40 or like 400 billion tons or whatever. Well, how much does it weigh then? It's like, well, there is no spoonful of a neutron star. Like, well, what is the mass and density of Jupiter then? What? I don't have to answer these questions because you've come up with your ideas. Um, and it's the same type of idea here, right? But that was a lot, I know. But anyway, that's my answer. Is there's a few different. I gave you a few different examples. I think we would be best off actually kind of making physical demonstrations, even kind of modeling it out for conceptual uh, reasons. And I don't think we should be doing all that full in. We shouldn't go all in doing that until we know that there is an observation that needs to be addressed.
Yes, that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, it's a huge win for flat Earth in many ways, in my opinion. It's a beneficial to flat Earth in every conceivable way. Every conceivable way, it's beneficial. This is a huge piece of information. I know I'm ranting a lot, sorry, but like another thing is I have been saying for years I don't think that there is one, right? I absolutely haven't saying that. And I don't have any embarrassment or shame of that at all because the videos that were proposed, like when we came in across flat Earth, okay, because I was here at like the beginning, pretty much the very beginning. I know exactly what happened. And we're like, wait a minute, wouldn't the sun also have to do a 360 and stay up in the sky far from the north? And if you found all these
You're in the ether.
asymmetry with flora and fauna and twilight time and the speed of the boats and the races and all these things and time zones and it goes on and on and on. The asymmetry problem of the magnetic field. And so then we're like, well, look, okay, well, there should also be symmetry with the sun. And there's no videos of it anywhere. There's no 24-hour video of the sun in Antarctica, but there's all kinds in the north. And though I understand that there's like a greater population in the north and it's more accessible, so we expect there to be a good amount of videos in Antarctica as well, because we have like, all kinds of stations, but all they do is sit there. Like, what else do they have to do? That would be like this huge phenomena. National Geographic will put a freaking camera in the desert for 6 months to film like the life of lizards and ants or scorpions or something. But they can't like film a freaking 24-hour sun in Antarctica, this pristine place that's completely untouched by man with no pollution. They can't freaking film it. And so we point out like this makes no sense. There should be videos. And then we find out that there are these government webcams that are accessible online, publicly accessible, and they cut out 8 hours every day, right? They conveniently cut out 8 hours every day where it should be filming the 24-hour sun. So, like, what's going on? Where's the evidence? And then this video gets put out that supposedly is a video of a 24-hour time lapse of the sun doing a 360 circle around you in the sky, and then we find out it was faked. And we're like, wait, look, the clouds are literally exactly the same at the end as they are at the beginning. So they clearly just looped this back around. It's faked. And it was portrayed as legitimate, continuous 24-hour footage. And then all the Globers gaslit us and said, no, you're just scared. You're just running away, blah, blah, blah. Then the guy came out and admitted that it was, in fact, faked. So that's the context of me saying, I don't think there is one, right? Because this just doesn't add up that there's so much sketchiness around it. I'm not going to believe there is one until the evidence is presented. And there's a good amount of evidence that seems to suggest there's 24-hour light, but that's very easily explained on a flat Earth. And so I've been very vocal about like kind of calling their bluff. I've been like, no, where's it at then? How can this guy that went to Antarctica and was stationed there for 6 months and worked for NASA said that he didn't see the sun for 24 hours. Now he was a little bit further north, I think, but he should have at a certain point. And so, yeah, I want to know if I've been wrong because I have thought there wasn't one, and I've never claimed I know definitively there isn't one, but I said I don't have to explain this phenomenon that there isn't legitimate evidence to support. And I've been like pretty vocal about how I don't think there is one because I think they're bluffing. So I want to know if I was wrong. And most flat earthers have also said the same thing and had the same position as me this entire time. And so we should all be like, this is an incredible step in the right direction for us to learn if it's a real thing. Um, and then some people can argue maybe we won't know if it's a real thing and they could fake it or whatever, but it's like maybe, but let's see. If we got 15 different angles with solar filters and infrared and every known like conceivable way to film it and 360 cameras and all this stuff, well then we should be able to really get together, dissect it, see what's going on. If it is a real phenomena, like well now we get to like correct our stance, right? Instead of just having a question mark there and being skeptical, now we have like pretty reliable information or observational evidence to move forward. That's a huge win for flat Earth because flat Earth is just trying to find out the truth. Flat Earth is just a term that people love to throw all over this conversation and try and pigeonhole it. But it's like we're just trying to figure out what really is, and we're suspending belief, and we're going back to the drawing board. Like we need actual evidence. We need to be able to independently verify it. If it's not independently verifiable, it is nothing. Like we don't care. We're disregarding it. We've been lied to too much. I know that was again another rant, but that I just don't see how flat earthers don't see that. The only thing the part that I can understand from people being skeptical of it or not necessarily wanting me to go is because they care about me. Like they're looking out for me. They think that it's sketchy and that something may happen to me. And like I get that and I appreciate the notion and I believe in the creator. The creator's in control. And so like I'm not scared of anything. But other than that, it's really weird. It's really weird. And flat earthers should step back and really think about what's going on. It's actually very beneficial to us. It's fully funded. We got Glober spending $500,000 to send us and to get us the observation that we wanted and that we demanded for years. Now we don't even have to come out of pocket to do it. So, okay, there you go. That's like my whole take on that. And then of course the cherry on top is that this has the potential to give flat Earth the most publicity it's ever had. All right, and so those are big wins.
Facts.
Yeah, that's a fact. Oh, go ahead, bro.
Nah, this their worst nightmare. Flat Earthian platforms. Facts.
What we will know for certain is that if Witsit comes back and he immediately starts talking about the Earth being a globe, he has been kidnapped by the government and cloned, and we need to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, actually, I've set up. By the way, I'm gonna have to drop in a second, so you have to bring it back up. I couldn't hear Proud, but I've actually set up different like whatever kind of words they're called. Like I don't know if you call it a safe word, but basically it's a way for me to let everyone know that I've been compromised. And there are specific phrases that I've told multiple individuals separately that if you ever hear me say this or start saying this, and I'm serious, I think that's actually like a safeguard that has to be in place because I don't know what these people would do. I've heard crazy stories about Antarctica, so I've got that pretty covered, And then also like even a kill switch, if you guys know what that is. So like if something were to ever happen to me, I have it set up to where certain things will be released. So like I think we're pretty covered on that. You know what I'm saying all that. You know, if I all of a sudden start coming and just being a retard, then you'll know that they got me.
And if you see
Chess.
aliens, will you tell us?
Yeah, of course. I'm gonna tell you guys. I'm gonna tell you guys everything, unless they take over my mind.
They said last night when you had dropped down for a little bit, they said, yo, please do not have Witsit come back with no blonde hair. Don't MK Ultra the guy.
Bleach blonde hair.
Nah, I think it'll be all right.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop so I can come back up in here. Sacred. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I got you.
proud.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
That's one thing I'm excited about is the footage, man. I want to see that shelf. I want to see the 24-hour sun if there is one. And if there's not, well, then we're gonna really know what's going on, or at least be further down that path.
Exactly. I mean, the only reason why this has been such a point of contention is because of like the videos that have been put out of a 24-hour sun in Antarctica in the past have been like provably like manipulated, debunked, manufactured. And it was just like a question like, well, why would they have to do this? Why would they have to make it seem like they were showing a 24-hour sun when for some reason in the beginning of the video and the end of the video had the same clouds? Or like there's an overlay of text that falls behind certain layers of mountains when it's passing by when the camera's doing a circle, or there's a glitch in one of the objects or the shadows or something like that in the video. It's always something weird that's just like when they have 24-hour suns in the north, we don't experience none of those type of anomalies. It's always with the south. So that's why it became a point of contention, but it's the globe earth that makes a positive claim about it. Right. And even so, just like what was saying, there's been several ways to attempt to explain this on a flat earth. And we put one of them in my pinned tweet. So it's like, I don't mind people debating the mechanics or the dynamics of how this thing could work, but the globe earthers and the anti-flat earthers got to stop saying it's impossible, because it's not impossible. It's just that the globe earth cannot have that sunset, but on a flat earth, it's not impossible if we could demonstrate the phenomena. Even if it ain't all the way, replicable, we ain't saying we got a piece of the firmament, you know what I'm saying, like in our living room or anything like that, but using simple arts and crafts and being able to recreate the phenomena on a local scale, just, throwing some random materials together with a light source and creating a sun going in one direction in the north, aka the center, and then seeing a counter rotation of the sun or counter motion towards the edge. Right on my pen tweet, man. It's just up there. Shout out to Envy for going crazy, putting in some work. They're not perfect, like I said, but it's a foundation. As long as the other side can acknowledge this, I think we can move forward. And exploring the true nature of our reality.
Hey, I have a.
Hold on, one second. Is that Zach?
Yeah, I had a.
Yeah, hold on one second.
You good.
I think I had Flat Lads up. I Run Bostonberg did have his hand up. I wasn't sure. Okay, he put his hand back up. So we have Flat Lads, Run Boston, Jeff, and then we'll double back to you in just a second, Zach.
Yeah, good morning, flat lads and ladettes on this stationary Saturday.
Yo.
I stepped away real quickly at the beginning of Witsit's last little comment there. Is Witsit taking anything, like, I don't know if it would be an astrolabe or anything, but to measure the angle of the sun in regards to where he is in the zenith? Like, is he taking something like that?
So I just thought about that yesterday. So I am looking. I'm trying to look and see what I should bring. Do you have a specific suggestion as to what I should bring? It and always lighter is better.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I think that would be a good set of data points to record is your location in relation to your zenith and the sun. I don't know what that mechanism would be, but That was just a thought.
No, I agree. Yeah, like being able to like keep up with the elevation angle and stuff like that. So someone else may have already thought about that and is bringing something. I don't know, but I'll check into it today, and if not, I'll bring something to try and do it.
That was all I had. Enjoy the stationary Saturday conversation. Hopefully, we go into still not moving Sundays.
Oh, so
Well, somebody just cut out.
no, that was me. I just forgot there's hands.
My turn?
I think it was Rum Boston and then you, Jeff.
Hey, Sacred, how am I sounding?
Loud and clear.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'm out on the trail still. I just ate some chews, get some energy. Man, I got to go all the way back to when Peter was going crazy. I have to clip that. That was just wild. And I want to say, just for the record, I took 200 milligrams of caffeine. You know that Celsius drink. I know it's not good for you. I buy the powder sometimes. That's like a pre-race go-to, and I didn't have any kind of crazy upheavals of emotional or outbursts. Like I feel calm and chill listening to you guys, and even if I hear something I'm not comfortable with, it's like I don't know, man. I don't know what caffeine does to some of these people that are wound tight, but that's one observation. Another thing I wanted to mention is I think it's important for everybody that's observing this to also, if they have a P1000 or any kind of mechanism to take a picture of the sun or sunspots, like the whole time the guys are gone. And I don't know, I mean, I could use a Google page or something and give out the link, and everyone could just compile what they're seeing, or at least people should take pictures or take, and date them. What time is it? Where are you at? What location, etc, because we're going to need to cross-reference later what they observed to where we observed. And I mean, I know people probably thought about that, but I'd like to head up like a central point for gathering data.
Yeah, the more data collection, the better.
Yep, I'm collecting data right now. I took these shoes out the first time to running them, and they're great. No hot spots. They got a carbon plate in them. These are what I'm going to use. I posted it in my 100K. So I'm all smiles, having a great time. My final comment, Witsit was talking earlier, and I had this thought. And I mean, I know it's a little on the religious side. I'm not trying to take it there, but like one of the most powerful things that the Messiah did, like if it's true that he ascended, his followers, people close to him, his brother, did not recant, like brutally being abused or slain, and they're like, "Nope, I'm not going to recant." And I think it really crazily moved forward I would say the truth of Christ and who he is and what he was, because he wouldn't recant. And I was just parallel or thinking about Witsit, not as Christ, but as someone, a man that's humble, that's pursuing the truth, being bold, being vulnerable, being transparent and open, doing the right thing, and staying even kill. Like he can get attacked personally, ad hom to death, and just slanderous things thrown at him. And I've just seen him get stronger and stronger in his belief about, remaining calm and letting truth speak for itself. They hate him, but the truth is they hate truth. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm gonna get back to running. You guys are all legends. I looked at the people on the panel and I was like, oh, my people. And then I scrolled a minute ago. I was like, I know so many of these people are on the same path that I'm on, and I love it. So yeah, y'all carry on.
Hey, JT, you made a good point too, man. When you were saying, I took a little bit of a energizer this morning. I don't get that angry. I don't feel emotional like I gotta crash out on it. That's a very good point, man. There's a coupling of energy and with something else that's causing that type of reaction, because I drank coffee before. I don't get I don't get like that.
I'll tell you
I hear you,
exactly
brother.
what it is. It's
And
the cortisol in his body. He needs to take his shoes off and his socks and go ground for about 30 minutes. Like
right.
seriously.
Right, and this is a little bit off the rails too, but people that have taken like mushrooms or hallucinogens, you do not want to take these substances with something going on emotionally. If you're not settled and grounded and happy and peaceful, if you enter into it, you could be in for a super wild ride, in a bad way, bad trip, etc. And I think, even something as simple as caffeine stimulant, very, very mild stimulant. If you got aggression in you and like brokenness and confusion and hate just about to bubble over, if you take you a couple quad shots, or even just a couple cups of coffee, it can send you into kind of a crazy spiral. But anyway, I'm gonna drop the mic. I love you all. This and that. Keep it up, bro.
Yes, sir. If y'all missed that earlier crash out from Pete Globisky, y'all rewind it back. Oh, that was crazy. It's just weird flex, bro. Jeff, I think you was up.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, we call that a bad trip. Austin, are you familiar with Dakala? This is Jeff the CB down in Brazil. Hello?
I know he said he was running some errands. Witsit, can you hear him? I don't know. He might not be around right now.
Okay, well, I'm a former CB in the Navy, and I put in for winter over in McMurdo. I had some friends that went, and winter over is the 6 months of darkness, but it's 4 months of total blackness, no sun at all. And we don't get that in the North Pole. But Dakala did some observations around the Earth, and they say our continents are shifted differently because the way the sun moves, and the sun doesn't move in the pattern we see it doing. So I wanted to set him up with Dakala, and maybe they can help him out with some equipment. They worked for the Brazilian government. They went out to prove the Earth was round, and they proved it flat. Okay, so that's an organization here. Yeah. So when Witsit comes back up, I'd like to ask him that, and I could set him up with Dakala. And if he flies into Brazil to fly to south to go to south to Chile or wherever they go, if they fly into Antarctica, I can have some Dakala people meet him with some proper equipment.
Okay, cool. Hey, give me just a second. I'm with the lead, and I'll come back over here.
Nice, Jeff coming in clutch. That's what's up, man.
I just want him to be safe, man. I mean, when anybody goes to Antarctica, my conspiracy mind is going haywire, bro.
Well, what base is he going to? Is he going to like McMurdo, or where's he going?
That I'm not sure. I don't know if he's even able to disclose his actual location where he'll be at.
They said they're going to be GPSs. I missed the stream. They were talking about it last night. I only caught like the second half of it. They were on Jaronism stream last night, kind of talking about how everything's going to be set up. Some things they couldn't really talk about yet. Some things, they delve into detail with. But I remember Jaronism saying that they will be having like some type of GPS trackers on them. Whether that's going to put them in the correct position or just a position within the coordinate system, hey, that's going to be up to y'all to determine. But there are going to be some type of local. I don't know what they're going to be sleeping in, because that would be crazy if they're going to be in the tent on ice.
There's no way, bro. Polar bears. Fuck that shit.
Polar bears are only up north.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
They got some penguins, though.
Yeah, they got those long beaks.
Hey, gentlemen, who just shared about the Dakala? Was that Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm familiar with their work. I think it was 2015, 2016, and there was some stuff that came out about them shortly after they made this film, and it was on YouTube. I forgot if it was convex or concave Earth. And
convex.
Yeah.
The continents are convex. The water's level.
Yeah, they came out with some stuff like trying to refute that. From what I saw, what they found in that documentary they did, it did look like sound, but they tried to, I guess, if it was a smear campaign or not, I don't know. They had them like the same people in the other video doing like science fiction and ghost story type of like experiments, but I don't know what those meant or whatnot, if there was any, anything against that, but.
Well, they go to pyramids and they seek out paranormal things too. They don't just search flat Earth; they go for paranormal things too. They travel around the world. You know, they're scientific researchers in every aspect.
Gotcha. Yeah. In any case, it's worth looking more into. Thank you for sharing that, brother. Brought that back to mind. Sorry, I'm washing dishes.
Yeah, after coming to Brazil here, you'd be amazed how many Brazilians are flat earthers and how many people follow it. And all their videos down here are totally different than what we watch up there.
I wish they could take a pendulum out in the south side to get a full coast pendulum to operate properly in such a short period of time. I don't think it'll be worth it, but that would be interesting to see if they can get it to process the predicted amount or the predicted motion, or if it
Yeah,
doesn't.
somebody was talking about an astrolabe earlier.
So, yeah.
Before I moved here, I lived in Key West, and I don't know if you ever heard of the Mel Fisher Museum. They found the Etosha, which had all those billions in gold and silver sunk off Key West. Well, they hired me to do a replica of the astrolabe, so where they can mass produce them in fake bronze, a cold cast powder in acrylic plastic. And I had to make the mold, a 7-piece mold of the astrolabe from the Etosha, which actually they found 2 astrolabes from the Etosha. And it's unique device. I didn't know how to use it, but it was interesting making them, you know.
What is it called?
The astrolabe from the Etosha. The Etosha was a Spanish galleon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Mel Fisher, he's dead now, but his son, they still run the museum down there, and he got busted for the shell scam. I didn't get involved in it, making a mold of silver coins, and then they melt down the silver bars because they don't get that much money selling silver bars, and they would sell them and make fake documents saying they were original doubloons from the Etosha. And he got busted for that.
Hey, while we wait for Witsit to get settled in, let's slide over back to Flat Lads. We kind of open it up and kick it for a little bit without the hands, hopefully. No more frothing Glovers.
Yeah, so along the lines with the astrolabe, as far as like finding out where the sun is relative to you, do you think they're going to have data out there where they can use stellarium to confirm any of this stuff? Do you think that's a possibility?
My bad. I was reading something. What a possibility, Laz?
I'm saying, so if somebody brings an astrolabe to get their location relative to the sun and their zenith or whatever, do you think they're going to have data where they could use stellarium to also confirm their location or where the sun and the stars are? You think stellarium will be available in Antarctica with the freaking penguins?
They said they will have access to internet. Although I don't know if would you need to be well, I guess if you don't have a device that has the full program preloaded, you'll have to use the internet version. But they will have access to the internet. But it depends on if they have an actual program or a device with actual program on it, or if they're going to use something that's internet based.
Yeah, I just wondered if stellarium would be a point of reference to confirm or deny anything that they see or record.
We've tried to use stellarium in some arguments against the globe Earth in the past, and they try to discredit it. They were blaming the lack of adjustment for the elevation, but then some people were saying you could adjust the elevation. So I'm not really sure. Basically, they're treating it like it's all like on the same. Well, this is what the anti-flat earthers were saying when we were using stellarium. They're saying, oh, that doesn't count for elevation. If you're in Antarctica and it says you're X amount of feet above sea level, it doesn't really account for that. Like it treats it as everything's at sea level. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm just saying. One time we
Yeah, I'm just
tried
trying to think of.
yeah. But I think
I'm just
elevation
trying to
would
think of more
affect it.
tools.
I just posted how
I'm
to
just trying to
use the
think of more.
astrolabe 3 ways. Okay, there's 3 ways to use an astrolabe. I just posted it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if there's any more tools that maybe hadn't been thought about to throw in the toolbox if they can fit on the plane.
I still think a mechanical compass. Proud. What was the guy's name that went that took the? We posted about it in the 62 questions. He took the
Oh,
flight.
I was gonna say, yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's a Spanish name, I think. He had like a thick accent.
Yeah, I would just like to see if that matches up with the actual digital or whatever else type of compass that they may have on board. They can compare it.
And do you know if if anybody has a gyro to take with them, a gyroscope?
The Globers was telling me that the magnetic lines and fields of the plane gonna intercept the compass. Like immediately, Handwave dismissed that. Oh, but I don't know about a gyroscope.
They should be able to. They should bring one. I don't know if they'll be able to get one though.
And somebody could kidnap a penguin and let's do some mind experiments on a penguin.
Shit, put a GoPro on the penguin.